And right now I am joined by Cormac O Caoimh, a local musician. Cormac, first of all, thank you for coming in and joining me. I'm going to start off the interview with asking you, first of all, how did you get into music?
Well, my family are very musical, so there was always loads and loads of instruments around the place when I was growing up. But I didn't take to it at the start. All the brothers and sisters were probably way better and more enthusiastic. I wasn't really mad into the music. There was kind of guitars and mandolins and pianos and tin whistles, and I was forced to do all these lessons. I was forced to do piano lessons, didn't like it. Tin whistle lessons, didn't like it. Mandolin lessons, didn't like it. And I just got upset with the idea of doing it. And when my dad came up to me at one point and said, "It's okay, Cormac, we're not all good at music. You're good at sums, maths in primary school." So that was it. My musical career was over before I started. But gradually, when people started leaving the house and there was guitars there, I kind of started picking them up myself when there was no one around to listen.
No pressure.
No pressure. And I just picked up the guitar, started strummed, and then when they came in, I'd put the guitar away. And kind of probably got kind of more seriously into it late enough for guitars. I think around 18 or 19, kind of finished school, bought a guitar, went to Galway and started playing really for the first time late enough.
So you went to Galway. Were you gigging in Galway?
Well, I was brutal because I was just started to play guitar, but I was busking in Galway and making loads of money because I was bad, I think. You know, I think I felt sorry for me. Because I did it again about 5 years later, and at that point I thought I was great, but the money wasn't too good at that point. So I think if you're just there and I was kind of shy and hesitantly doing it, the money was good. Maybe it's a good, might try it again.
And I'm assuming you've never looked back from there, have you?
No, I haven't. No. It's been music pretty non-stop since.
Now, you made a lot of albums. You're showing me albums here. You used to be in a band. What was the band called again?
I used to be in a band called the Citadels. So, again, late enough. I'd say we played our first gig when I was about 25. So we started out kind of as a three-piece, kind of folky, two guitars, two voices. But gradually, people left and people joined, and people left and people joined, and over the years it ended up being a kind of a six-piece band with kind of drums, electric guitar, bass, and then that version of the band recorded that CD.
And right now, these days, what are you doing with yourself?
These days I am kind of a solo guy, so I'm releasing CDs as just my own name, Cormac O Caoimh, but I do play with musicians if need be. A lot of the gigs will be solo gigs, but if there's people around, or if there's a gig is bigger or better, or I might get other musicians to play with me as well. But normally it is on my own these days.
For you, what's the worst part about being a musician?
The worst part or the best part, or both?
I'll
answer the best part first.
Well, we'll go best first and go worst second, no bother.
We'll give you a few time to think of the worst. The best part is I love it, and that you're just doing a job that you absolutely love. It's not like, waking up on a Sunday night going, "Oh God, I have to go to work tomorrow. Oh, it's terrible," and feeling sick, or going back to school in September. So the best part is that it's just doing something that I really, really love. The worst part is, well, I'd rather say there isn't the worst part, but if I had to think that there was a worst part in terms of playing gigs these days, it would be hard to just make a living playing original music as gigs. So the worst part is doing gigs that pay a bit. I think when I started out, it wasn't the case. If you played, you just got paid. Well, these days there's kind of a lot of these session nights out where people are asking you to play for free, and some of them can be really good if the atmosphere is nice or if it's worth doing. I don't mind playing for free if it's a good cause or if it's a great stage. But the kind of session nights where people, you have kind of beg people, "Can I play for you for free?" That's the worst part. So at some point I said I would never do them again.
For you, what's the best way of making a few quid as a musician?
Well, I teach guitar. So I teach classical guitar, acoustic guitar, electric guitar. So that pays the bills. And then actual making the CDs costs money. Even though the last CD now did make I probably made enough to make the next one with the sales on iTunes, and it got played a good bit. Imro give you money for gigs you play and for the if it gets played on the radio. So I did a session for our Radio 1, the Arena show, and then they put podcasts that was downloaded. So money comes in from just getting played.
I just want to go back to the teaching. Is that something you just knew yourself, or did you go and maybe do a music course in order to be qualified to teach? Or
Well, years ago, when I started getting into the guitar, I started doing all the classical grades. So I kind of got my grade 8 classical music a long time ago. Then I kind of stopped doing the classical and started writing the songs. And then I kind of got into the teaching then. And I started submitting people for other grades. And only last month, I got appointed to be an examiner for London College of Music and the Registry of Guitar Tutors. So if people are doing their exams or going for their diploma, I could be examining them in Ireland.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You mentioned that you write your own music.
Yes.
How do you go about doing that? Because I ask everyone this.
In terms of just in general, I think there's just two ways of writing songs. I don't know, maybe there's more. But at the start, I definitely went the first way, which was just writing the lyrics first, non-stop writing lyrics, then finally getting the final thing, and then strumming away and putting some chords to it. So at the start, it was always that. So it's like lyrics, and then strum. There you go. These days, I am doing much more of the music first. So I'm kind of playing a lot of the guitar. Probably the guitar, more finger-picking songs these days, and they're probably harder. So I do the music first, and then kind of probably just repeating a phrase on the guitar until some kind of thing
comes together, basically.
And then build it up that way. So it's much slower these days. Before, it used to be kind of lash it out, and I used to probably write 10 very quickly to get, in the hope of getting one or two good. So I was just writing a lot of songs the first way. But the second way, if the guitar bit is nice, I probably just stick with it a lot longer, and I'm not in much of a rush as I used to be before. And so take longer, but the ratio of good and bad, or usable and not usable, is higher. Kind of.
Influences, would you have many?
Loads. Music-wise.
If you can give me your top 3 music influences.
The Go-Betweens, you know them?
I actually don't.
Go-Betweens they're all old. Like, I mean, I'm an older fella than you. 80s pop band, the Go-Betweens. When pop was kind of good, like, it wasn't a dirty word, it wasn't sickly sweet, it was just catchy stuff, but kind of good stuff. Nick Drake.
That's a name for me again.
Check out Nick Drake. You might let the Go-Betweens, but Nick Drake, everybody would like him, I think. Nick Drake, brilliant guitarist, kind of finger-picking guitarist, lovely voice. And the last one, I was going to say Martin Stevenson, but you might know him, so I'll try to think of somebody that... Leonard Cohen. We'll say Leonard Cohen, just because...
Someone I know.
Yeah.
In maybe next 5 years, would you see yourself doing what you're doing now?
Well, yeah. I mean, I just like writing songs and releasing them. I think I've passed the age of, making a lot of money and doing massive tours. But if I could still write stuff and release stuff in 5 years, I have 3 there, which probably took, I don't know, three albums probably took 15 years. I'd like to shorten that period, and in 5 years have 2 or 3 out.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like Ger Wolf is a big hero of mine. I should have said Ger Wolf, actually. You're Cork man. Sure, how many albums do you have now? About 10?
I'm not too sure, to be honest.
He's a lot of them, and they're all brilliant. So yeah, just keep releasing CDs, keep writing songs, playing better gigs.
Gigs. When is your next gig?
Well, I probably will be playing a gig before this, but the next gig that I know about is Cork Rocks for Abbey on November the 7th in the Opera House. So there'll be 26 bands and 2 stages, organised by the amazing, brilliant Steve Manning, who's done two things like this already. He's done, or 3 or 4 probably. He did a Cork Rocks the Opera House with loads of bands, did Cork Rocks the Everyman, where he's getting like local Cork acts playing really big stages that we may not get to play otherwise. So the Cork Rocks for Abbey will be November the 7th, and I think it will be a fantastic night, judging from all the success of the other nights. Yeah,
it's been mentioned already on the show, this Cork Rocks for Abbey one. It does look like it's going to be a fairly massive gig, starting at 2 today and ending at 2 tonight. So,
brilliant.
It's going to be a big occasion, and I will be doing my best to get down there myself and get some live output for the show, of course, and just interview a lot of other bands too. But is the X Factor something you would go and do?
The X Factor. Well, if I was younger, prettier, could sing better, I'd like to think that I still would definitely not do the X Factor.
100% no.
100% no. Yeah.
Why not?
Well, it's not my cup of tea anyway. It's not. They're not looking for somebody who writes original stuff. They're looking for somebody who can do covers and can sing well and do covers. A lot of my favourite musicians, they're not the best singers. They're just great songwriters. So it's not a show for songwriters. But you know, if I was kind of had a great voice and could do covers, I'd still like to think I wouldn't do it because I think it's not good for music and horrible.
So you're more into originality, making your own stuff and doing it the right way. Actually, as a few bands have said to me.
Yeah. Well, doing it anyway. I suppose. But you know, I wouldn't knock anybody who would do it either. It's just I don't have a good voice. I don't sing any covers. So if I went on, it would just be embarrassing for everybody.
I wouldn't say that. No.
Well, if you asked me to sing a Beatles song and I tried to hear, you'd probably be going, "Oh dear."
Well, I'm sure you must be a good singer to say. I mean, how many albums have you got out? You know, but you are going to sing a track for me now. It's called "There's Gold, There's Somewhere." Tell me about it.
Well, it was released as a single last Friday, and it did very well in the iTunes download charts. I think the highest it got that was number 3 in the singer-songwriter genre for Ireland. I think it got up to number 36 in the overall chart. So it did very well. I kind of released it as a single, even though the album was probably out over a year ago. I released it as a single because it was featured in a recent production in the Opera House called 100% Cork. So 100% Cork was a show that ran 3 nights on the Midsummer Festival, where they had 100 people from Cork on stage, answering all sort of questions, doing all sort of stuff. Brilliant show. And I was one of the musicians involved, so they asked for musicians to be part of the show, and we finished up the show by singing the song. So I kind of released it as a single just on the back of that.
And why not? It's good timing, of course. No.
Yeah.
Pretty much you can go whenever you feel ready to sing, and you can start singing for me now, Cormac.
Great stuff. We give it a go in here. Who am I? Who are you? Who do we intend to be? It's hard when we can stand on our 2 feet. There's plenty time left there for us to waste or take a break from fair and unfair. There's gold there somewhere. There's gold there somewhere. Dig deep until your hands and fingers bleed, and see if you can find something beneath the floor. Find something and you can call it yours before you start to stare out nowhere. There's gold there. There's gold there. Blue river, silver skin, you'll find me. You'll find me. Yellow, red, warmth within, you'll find me. You'll find me out there. There's gold there. There's gold there. Breathe in and see what self-inspection brings, and hear the warnings in their uttering. It's fear that stops you seeing it all so clear. It likes to keep you unaware. There's gold there. There's gold there. Blue river, silver skin, you'll find me. You'll find me. Yellow, red, warmth within, you'll find me. You'll find me out there. There's gold there. There's gold there. There's gold there somewhere.
Excellent stuff. That is, of course, Cormac O Caoimh with "There's Gold, There's Somewhere," new release, and you can get it on iTunes, I do believe.
You can get it on iTunes. You can buy the full CD directly from me on cormaco.net, or you could be going to the facebook.com, Cormac Music. There's actually loads of songs if you just want to listen and not buy anything on YouTube, youtube.com, Cormac O Caoimh.